So let's have the pledge and we'll continue here. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And that just came in my email minutes ago, by the way. Okay. Board members, Greg's here, Jerry's here, Mark here, Mark's here. Roberta is somewhere. I don't know. She's not here.
Oh, Yarn's here.
That's not hers. That was here before I got here. I'll do her treasurer's report. She has a balance of $4,665.16 in the account. So I don't have, I've got, if everyone wants it, I can send them the whole sheet. But I'm gonna pass on that. Do we have any comments on the repeater repairs or going on with the repeater or anything like that from anybody? Going once?
Well, I'll make one comment. I have been linking on occasion to the IRA repeaters on the west coast of Michigan for the noontime roundup net, but since Clay's now got the 100 machine link, I'm leaving it to him.
Okay. Constitution. Mr. Smith, do you have anything on that? You and I were talking ahead of time. Have you guys gotten together?
No, I just see there's been a lot of discussion about it, and it looks like there's a lot more to it.
Yeah,
Thought there would be.
it's a real rat's nest.
Yeah, I had no problem with it initially.
Okay.
But, when do you think you might want to subject it to a vote? I mean,
Well, come up with something and we'll come up with a vote.
oh, if that isn't complete.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes. You guys are supposed to go through that and look at it, see what's
Okay.
good and what's bad. Okay.
Got overwhelming. Thank you.
We're gonna jump real quick to show and tell. I think it's Mr. Davis.
Ready? Yeah.
Okay, well, I got asked to show off some of what you can do. As you can see, I'm old enough
You
to
don't
know
need the
better,
minutes?
but I'm daft enough to do it anyway.
I didn't think about it. We'll get it next.
The oh, that's,
I count 10. I think there's 11 people in there, so I'm not sure.
I do have something else on the repeater now, I think. Just showing off here some of the things I can do with a 3D printer. For example, these roses will never fade. And although this isn't really a vase, I'm printing the vase, it's got about 8 hours to go yet. I printed a lovely TARDIS to store, put them in. Printed a snowman, assorted signs. Anybody recognize this address? This is something I kind of like because you see, you take a cup like this, you set it on the table, you go, whoop, and kiss the computer goodbye. You put it in here, got a much bigger base, it doesn't tip over as easy. An ice cream cone with a bunny in it. An ice cream cone with a roll of quarters in it.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, my pen. Can I have my pen back?
Tic-tac-toe game.
No, that one.
I dropped one of these
Thank
off
you.
at the restaurant I eat brunch on Sundays. She wanted more, so I got about a dozen of them floating about here. An articulated alphabet train. I'm missing one letter, but can't fix that. Fortunately, I have a fix-it tool. All set to bus goes. Cute little dragons. By the way, some of this I'll give away if anybody wants it. Anyone remember the ARRL?
Better be better 50% of us.
Yeah. Got a couple of tags here that mention my major medical problems. And if I can find it. This one, by the way, is another ARRL tag. It says I don't pay dues anymore. Well, that's like membership colors.
You're a lifetime member then?
Yep. And I've got a tag here that identifies my car key in case I forget it, name, phone number, email. Not all prints turn out well. This one didn't. It's gonna go in the trash. Various signs. You can all see the birthday part of happy birthday. That one's holds up nicely. The,
Wow.
for easy travel. My favorite sign, everyone who passes through this door brings happiness. Some by entering, some by leaving. Which way is tight? And which way is loose? Well, actually, it doesn't matter. It works the same either way. Yeah. Anybody got a child that would like a nice Disney castle? The Marvin the Martian, he's actually got a broken foot. That's why he's not standing up. Useful stuff, I've got a battery carrier. That, well, that's all of the batteries I need to replace the backup batteries for that radio. The box that radio's mounted on is a 3D printer. We used to have a wooden box. The wooden box is falling apart. That box is all one piece, well, two pieces, lid and base. It won't fall apart so easy. If I want to protect myself from spying eyes on the computer, that slips right over the camera. And now you've got a great view of the backside of a piece of plastic.
Actually, we don't even have that with the camera.
Well, I've got the video turned off, but the cord winder for your wall warts. Handy little thing. It all starts out looking like this.
Yeah.
That's what I feed into the printer, usually a much bigger spool than this one. This is a 1/4 kilogram spool when it's full. Usually I'm buying it by the kilogram or 1.5 kilograms. Making it closer. But this one, I've got about a dozen of these, so I use them for show and tell. Even this one, if you look at this statue of Lincoln, notice how the color changes as I turn it. Well, they make what is called, that's tricolor filament. It's got green, blue, and I think the third color is red. Right here, you see the red. And depending on which way you're looking at it, it'll be different colors. Same is true of this cup holder. See, it's well, it's kind of blue, green, and gold. Yeah, that's also, by the way, a failed print. Just in case you don't know. Useful stuff. Well, I've got the printer that laid the golden egg. Antenna egg insulator. I can make more of those. Eventually, I will make more of those.
Quick question about the egg insulator.
Yes,
How long will it last with UV light?
I'm not sure. I've got some of these prints that are exposed to UV, have been for a while, haven't shown any signs of deterioration. But I've only had the printer about 8 months, I think, on the small one. So that it's not really a full test.
How many volts before it starts to melt on you?
It starts to melt at around 130, 140. That's degrees. not
Right,
volts.
I mean, if somebody.
Volts, that would probably take a couple of thousand easily on that egg. It's non-conductive as near as I can tell. And I took some that I thought might be conductive and stuck the meter on it, and it said infinity. So
PVC is non-conductive too, but if you use it for an insulator and run, 1.5 K through it, it's gonna be.
well, I've only got 100 watts at the most, so and the stuff is very light. Just to give you an example, this egg, give you two things at once here. That's 62.2 grams, or about $1.25 in terms of the cost of the plastic. Yeah, that's what really surprised me is how cheap this stuff is to make because it's next to nothing in terms of the plastic.
So what does the printer look like?
What does the printer look like? You would ask.
I mean, surely it don't look like print for paper.
Like a big box,
I've never seen one, so I don't know.
like a bread box, isn't it?
Well, yeah,
Could be, yeah.
Somewhere in the clothes or something.
Some of them are pretty tall, depending on how.
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of difference. This one is the big
It
printer
went
I
away.
have. This is the one that made that,
It went away.
everyone brings happiness sign.
Your screen went blank.
No, it didn't.
It went up off the screen.
There you
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one that did the everyone brings happiness sign.
It's more of a kill team to me.
And just to show you that it's not the only design.
Don't stick your head in there.
Yeah.
Stick your neck out.
Yeah, that would not work.
go.
Come on, load it up. This is a smaller printer. This is the first one I got. It's the one that laid the golden egg. It also made the tic-tac-toe game and most of the other stuff. This was made on the Ender 3. Handy little thing, an envelope opener. This stuff is remarkably tough. I was surprised at how resilient it is to dropping. Wire bending aid or a soldering aid. You can bring two leads in here to solder together. Useful little tool.
John, are you making your own patterns or are they,
I'm mostly downloading patterns from Thingiverse or printables. I do have a few patterns I made myself for special need. But usually I'll start with a pattern from one of the download sites and then modify it to fit my needs.
is it kind of complicated to create one or?
Depends on
your
the
skills, maybe?
modification. For example, I had a problem with my Jeep in that where they put the light switch, every time I get in and out, my knee hits it. Pokes it right through the dash. Well, the dealer wants $100 to fix it. I learned how to do it myself, but there's an easier way. I downloaded a bracelet, shrunk it down in diameter, adjusted the length according to the depth of the knob, glued it over the top of the knob. It don't go through the dash anymore. It's too big. That's half the cost of the printer in one step. It's just amazing what all it can do.
When you make your own patterns, you use AutoCAD, what do you use?
There's various design software. FreeCAD is one that I do have. Like I said, I'm not really that good at it. I've been trained in how to do it. I'm not. It's a combination of coordination and patience. I lack both. So I don't get the best drawings.
Was it slicing software separate?
Slicing software is separate.
Okay.
You start by drawing a file with one of your CAD programs, and then generally you'll save it as what's called an STL file, which is a standard tessellation language, or if you add a couple of vowels, style. You load that into your slicer. There's some other formats you can load too. One of my slicers can load a picture. And then you can make what's called a lithopane. Doesn't look like much unless you shine a light through it, and then the picture shows up clearly. I've not yet done that, but I have used it to make some signs. I might have used it to make that, I don't know. I haven't been able to find the style file for that sucker online. So I don't know, I might have been the creator of it. I've got some signs, and I got one that I've been passing out in doctor's offices. It says, "A wise doctor once wrote me you can buy that enamel on metal, $50. It's about $1.50 to print it. And all my doctors get one. I made business card holders, I made musical instruments, made a recorder that actually could be played. And I met a young lady at a restaurant, the daughter of the manager. And she liked playing the recorder, but she was sad at the end of the school year because she had to turn it in. It was school extra. So I gave it to her mother, who proceeded to give it to her. So she spent all summer having fun playing the recorder. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what happened to the mother. I know that suddenly that restaurant had new staff, and a couple of weeks later, it's closed. Anyhow, the new staff wasn't nearly as good as the staff she had. I mean, like I said, I mentioned this box is a 3D print because it's very solid. The only thing it's not is the base for the radio on top of it is from Icon.
Hey, John,
Yep.
how long did it take to 3D that container?
Let me see if I can find that out. Yeah. Oh. I'll get the estimated time for you here, but oop, that's the wrong. I don't have the hard drive attached to that, so I can't bring it up. That was probably about a day and a half, 2 days.
Right.
That's a long print. Some of these things take like, well, the coffee cup, that's I think 13 hours or something like that. If I'm not changing color. On that one, I changed color twice, so that means it takes longer. Because I've got to realize wants me to go out there and change colors. I took 8 of those up to my church. They're having a garage sale in a month or two. St. John's in Davison, and I'm not sure all of them are going to make it to the sales floor. The staff was extremely interested. Said it's a lot of fun. I enjoy making it. I enjoy making toys for people. For St. Patrick's Day, I made a couple of 100 4-leaf clovers, and I give them out in pairs to people. And there's a young lady up at the Aldi store that told me she turned them into earrings for St. Patty's Day. And I looked at it, I told her, why do you think I gave them out in pairs? I was hoping somebody would do that. Some of them, and this is one of them, if it gets hot, they'll change color. It's just one of the type of PLA I bought. It changes color at around between 80 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit, it turns yellow. Some of you might have seen the stand for it works with this radio or my other ID52, also work with an ID51. This one is for Bob if he ever shows up at a meeting. I've got some extras out in the car that are, well, actually I got some extras here that are technically failed prints, so I can give them away. Those are probably going to get sold, but not by me. I'll give them to somebody else to sell. Like I said, it's just a lot of fun. And what's great about it is sometimes you find something you can make a part that you can't find it. A lot of stuff that, well, for example, I've got a single cup coffee maker, the drip tray. I lost it. I made one. That was one where I had to do actual design work to make it, but I made one, and it works great. Because by the time the water gets down there's not hot enough to melt the plastic anymore. They do tend to be a little addictive. I've made Christmas ornaments, Halloween decorations. Not doing anything for 4th of July or Easter, but like I said, I did St. Patty's Day. I've got a couple of Christmas trees, little Christmas trees I made with it. I've got it's called a lamp holder. It's designed to hold like a articulated lamp on your desk. And, well, actually, it's holding a solar powered Christmas tree and the solar panel for a string of, fairy lights out on my balcony. Got paired into two of them. Clay has a business card holder that's kind of unique. Did you ever figure out a value for that thing?
You talking about the resistor?
Yeah,
Yes, 10K, it's on my office.
it was pure white when I gave it to him. I told him I'd let him choose the color.
Jeff, did you have something? Jeff, I thought I heard you.
No, he's mute.
I think he was on a second ago.
I got a quick question that I'd like to leave.
I did.
Yeah, you mentioned at the beginning of the meeting that there was a repeater problem. Which repeater?
Not a repeater, just an update on where we are with the repeater team.
That isn't what you said, but okay.
Well, you said repairs, but.
Yeah.
So I recall there was a problem, Dave, with the 70 centimeter software not linking and unlinking properly. I assume you fixed it by now.
No, I haven't done anything. I told him I wasn't gonna touch anything. All right, so there's no problems. All right, enjoy your 3D printer meeting. We'll catch you all some other time.
Okay.
Yeah, there is one problem I'll mention. It's not a technical problem, but last week we didn't have a Thursday night net because I was hot and tired and didn't want to take it, and I'm not signed up for any of them, and neither is anybody else. We need net control stations.
I'll help out just as soon as, band.
Well, go to the website and sign up for a couple, because I'm willing to take it occasionally, but not every week.
It's gonna have to be in June before I'm able to.
John, thank you for the information on 3D printer. I would invite anybody who wants to come over here and peruse his little demonstration and his stuff and see just what he's got. Maybe something there that you can find a use for. In the meantime, I forgot the minutes.
Sure do.
Greg's got them there.
The meeting was March 21st meeting was called to order at 7 PM by the president. A roll call of officers was called, and those in attendance were Jerry, myself, Roberta, Mark, and Oliver. And there were 15 members present for the meeting and 3 regular members, 55 total attending on Zoom. There were 2 guests attending on Zoom, Noah Becker, KE8 CFH, and Jeff Bativa, KB8 SWR. The treasury report was called for and given by the treasurer, who reported we have a balance of $4,978.64. Motion was made to accept the report as given and voted on and passed. A reading of the minutes of the last meeting was given by myself, and the motion to accept the minutes as read was made and vote was taken and passed. The member at large was asked if he had a report, and he stated he had none at this time. This item that was up for discussion was the Constitution. The president referred to the email that was sent to all regular members of the club with a copy of the Constitution as proposed changes for the purpose of the membership's consideration, comments, or suggestions to be brought up at the membership meeting. The president asked for volunteers to serve on a 6-person committee to go over the Constitution, 3 of which were involved in the initial proposals and 3 others, and come up with a final version to be submitted for approval. Those who volunteered and accepted were Carl Collier, Jeff Parker, Mark Oliver, Mark Smith, and Dave Gamage, and Jerry Baker. It was then asked if there was any discussion on the Constitution for the comment to add for membership consideration. The following items were suggested for consideration. 1, to drop the section pertaining to an emergency coordinator. 2, the legality of voting electronically, Zoom, over being in person. 3, whether we need a constitution or a set of bylaws. 4, what to do with our equipment, repeaters, etc. if we dissolve the club. 5, the consideration of adding a vice president to the board. And 6, the addition of a conflict of interest clause. Hewitt Clayton gave a report on Elms Road Park as it not being suitable site for field day due to all the new remodeling being done. Madison Academy School was then brought up as a possible site for field day. Jeff stated he lived across the street from the park and would check into the possibility as a site for field day. New business. The president stated he's been in touch with officials concerning the crim race and will relay details as they become available. He was then brought up our helping with the food drive on the first Saturday in April at the church. Al Smith and myself gave a short talk on the ATU that I built and will present at the next meeting. The president then asked for any more comments. Seeing that there were none, a motion to close the meeting was made and seconded, and the meeting was closed at 7:39 PM.
Correction to the minutes. The food drive is May 20th.
I'm sorry,
Food drive here at the church is May 20th.
May 20th.
I have a motion to accept the minutes as corrected.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right. Member at large, Mark. Hey, you got anything for us today?
No,
Okay. Well, I'd ask.
no complaints, no.
No complaints, no rock throwing?
All things are good.
Oh, yeah, right. Leave that. Okay. Really old business field day. We're waiting for Bert and Jeff to check on that. Haven't heard anything new about that, so that's where that sets at this point. I have a ton of stuff for field day sitting in my garage, so when we're ready for it, I've got it. For new business, John Kroll and I have been passing around some information. Interesting things have come up. This is the 90th year of the club. 90 years. And we checked, and it is still an affiliated club with the ARRL. Over 51% of the members are ARRL members. So that keeps us in their good graces. As I said earlier, the food drive here is May 20th. Need to be, if you're going to be here to help out, pass out groceries and stuff, need to be here at 8 AM. There's a parking lot in the church next door and a path through the bushes. Comes over here. All are welcome. We pass out a ton of stuff. So that's what I've got for that. We can run a round table here, Greg.
Nothing at the moment.
Nothing. Well, probably those of us working on the Constitution, and it's been past month, it's been kind of busy, but probably need to sit down at lunch or something and just kind of hammer out a version to present.
If you guys want to set up a Zoom meeting, I can give you the access codes and all that stuff to set up a Zoom meeting.
Usually a meeting with food.
Food, yeah, okay.
Usually better.
For you guys. I'm just there as a
And to
de
pick a
facto
place
member.
that's kind of central to everyone.
Too bad Fred's doesn't have a meeting.
You're out Swartz Creek, he's in Davison,
Well,
you're Davison,
Valley, Hill Road works out great for a lot of things.
those three, yeah.
You got a Hill Road Grill.
Yeah,
They got a broom in the back and all that.
a couple of the girls are pretty close.
So that would be a good place to sell. I'm just a member by de facto. I'm not gonna have any input. Keep my mouth shut.
Free books.
Yes, we have free books back here and a couple of radios for sale. Somebody wants them. Clayton?
For those of you who are not aware, I don't know how many of you guys knew Abe. He was the co-founder of the IRA link system on the west side of the state. Dating back to 1989, myself and Tom at IES had tried many times to get an RF link from this area to the IRA system. We were not very successful over the years. We kind of gave up. Rick Dystra, which is now the trustee of the IRA link system, he and I had been working on a project for, well, started back in 2018. Involving All-Star to run that link. As things started evolving, in the beginning, All-Star was not the reliable way to go. So we tried Echo Link several times with the 100 machine, not very stable. We are 24/7 link right now It is on a test mode with the IRA Board of Directors with the 100. So at this point, the 100 is permanently linked until further notice to the IRA system on the west side of the state. The second thing is Echolink is still active. That's KGZ-L is the Echolink node. It's on the 100. So if you wanted to get into the 100, you would use the Echolink, and it will also get you into the IRA at the same time. If you're on the Echolink side, there is no courtesy tones. You may hear a blip coming from the IRA link, but you're not going to hear any courtesy tones. If you're on the RF side on the 100, you're going to hear two courtesy tones. One is a local courtesy tone from the 147-100 when you first on key. You're going to hear another courtesy tone when the IRA machine drops on the other end.
Is that the letter S?
No. It's I don't remember what because they have more than one tone on their side that comes back through us. So what I'm saying is there's a second courtesy tone that's from their side. When their users are on, you're going to hear a second courtesy tone. When we come in on our side, you're only going to hear ours. There's those of us that are on Facebook saw my post. There's not been anybody complaining about it. On the other side of the state, holy moly, we got comments all the way down from Benton Harbor, all the way up to Charlevoix.
Essentially, it's just been a chatterbox.
Oh, it has. And they have some really awesome nets.
Yes.
Their nets are really cool. They've got a youth net.
They have a simplex net.
Yes, yep. So if you're a person that likes nets, feel free to get involved in that. We do have, as soon as I can get the software to work right, we actually have a Motorola MTR 2000 100-watt repeater going on the 100 and on the 2.6. I have two of them. Right now I'm having an issue with the RSS programming software, but we'll get that figured out. But when we're done, we'll have both the repeaters will be identical, the 100 and the 2.6. The same controller, except the plan was we still plan on putting those remote receivers back up. They just won't be part of the voter system. Will be something a little bit more reliable.
Cool.
Because if you're running slow scan, it goes crazy, as you already know. So I don't really have anything else. I just want to make sure that everyone knew what the project was with the 100 machine. They can turn it off from their end, and we can turn it off from our end. That was why they wanted the All-Star. With Echolink, it's a one-way link. You can't turn it off the other direction. So working with those guys has been it's been really interesting working with them, because obviously they've co-founded that system over there in 1984, that network. So they've been doing it for a long time, and to actually finally get involved with those guys, like I had tried to for what now, 3 decades. It was kind of embarrassing because we thought we had a plan. Every time Tom and us and I tried that plan, it fell apart.
This wasn't in the cards.
So, we have an unlimited 4G LTE connection at the 100 site. So it's our internet. We're not on somebody else's internet. So we don't have that privilege at the 2.6 yet. We're hoping to change that soon, but for for right now, we don't have it. I don't have anything unless anybody's got a question.
I just got a comment for you. You need help with the MTR 2000. That's what's on the club repeaters.
I do have a question. I do have a question for you, Dave.
Well, the other thing is All-Star Ham VoIP is very reliable. It's better to use than Echolink.
Oh, yes, most definitely. I just have one question on the RSS software. What computer do you run it on? I mean,
I use a Raspberry Pi 3B Plus with a modified USB sound card. I've got all that information that I've documented, and it works great. The two repeaters that the club has is using that. Individual Raspberries for redundancy. You can run 4 nodes on there comfortably, 4 USB interfaces, but I chose to run one Raspberry, one interface. There's a remote base, dual band remote base nobody uses, nobody ever questioned. All kinds of things, but I'm glad that you're going to the MTR 2000. Hopefully you've got the one that will work in the ham band. If not, there's a modification you need to do.
Yep, the 2 resistors, I'm working on that. Now, the RSS software you're using for the to program the MTR, I'm running it on a Windows 95 laptop. Is there another recommendation you get for running that software?
I run it on a Windows 11 and a Windows 7.
Okay. Okay,
I mean,
thank you.
I also put a VPN software in the Raspberry, so you can get into it through free VPN. I also put a VPN Zywall router at the site. There's all kinds of neat stuff you can do, but no one showed any interest other than John. So it is what it is. There's work that should be done at the repeater site for the 2 club repeaters, antennas, backups. Nobody's interested, so that's why I've been staying out of the way. I had one more question for Gary. I'm sorry, Jerry. Were you a club member for 12 months consecutive prior to January 1st?
I believe so, yeah.
A fully paid current member for 12 months prior to January 1st, 2023.
For information from Roberta, yes.
Because you were on the list as a returning member or a new member in August. So that was confusing. That wasn't 12 months.
I can understand that. I've been back to this area for 4 years now, since I was in Missouri.
So you were a current member when you weren't in the area?
I believe, not when I was out in Missouri. But when I came back 4 years ago, it was.
So you were a current member for the last 4 years?
To my knowledge, yes.
Then why were you on the Roberta's
Actually,
notice?
that wasn't Roberta's, that was Amy's, and I can't answer that question.
It was from Roberta. She sent it to me. I sent you a copy.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
Roberta,
Roberta said I didn't pay my dues, and I know I did.
problem was, Amy didn't record all the dues being paid as she should have, and there were some of them that fell through the cracks. Usually there were ones that were being paid electronically and not in person.
Okay. The other reason that I'm not part of the club, other than not having anybody with interest, is that you don't want to recognize all the hard work I put into it. There's no mention of me. And when I asked to be part of the board as a member at large, you did nothing. Jeff Parker agreed to it before you took over. So I've been left out there dangling. What's your feelings on it? You don't feel that I should be part of the board as the repeater team lead?
Well, I don't think the repeater team should be on the board. I think they should be.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear. See you all later. I want nothing to do with you.
It's up to you,
That's one-sided.
decide.
Yeah, you should have a membership vote, not you making the decision.
That's why we're rewriting the Constitution, Dave.
Yeah, so you can dissolve the club and steal the equipment for the club that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sure. Sure. Dave, you want the job, Dave, you want the job as president?
I could do a better job than you are.
You want the
I
job as president?
recognize people's hard work.
Dave, do you want
Hey,
the
do you know
job as
how many
president?
years?
I've had it. I've been putting
Jerry,
up with this
hold on.
crap for months.
Do you know how many years I've worked on the 2.6 repeater and the 100 machine? And I
Yeah,
never got
repeaters do.
Yeah,
recognized
do you
for
know how
squat
many
day?
years I've been doing repeaters? Over 50.
But my point is you're not the only one that does things. And none of us get our gratitude. I mean, very seldom do we get thanked for much, do we?
You a cake?
Well, you do get
Okay,
blamed
well then
with
you
something-
carry on working your butt off and nobody says thank you. I say thank you and 73s.
Dave, like I said, do you want to be president? I'll give you the job right now.
I don't want anything to do with this club. There's too much other
I'll
stuff
give,
than.
I'll give
than
you the
repeaters.
presidency right now.
I don't meet the requirements of the Constitution. I haven't been a member for 12 consecutive months.
We can fix that.
Yeah. Go bend it.
Yeah, you can bend the Constitution for anything you want. I don't want anything to do
We
with
can,
it.
we can move to suspend any rule that would prevent you from becoming president.
I don't want anything to do with it. 73s, sorry.
Sorry, Jerry.
Wow.
You did well.
Make it easy, Jerry.
Anybody have anything else? We didn't get a chance to run the 50-50 today.
It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Is this,
Yeah, but I've been putting up with this for months. I've had it, about had it. So, make a motion to adjourn, somebody?
So moved.
I'll
Second.
second it.
All in favor?
Right.
All done. You guys who were on the internet, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Jerry, just in case you'd like